Sup, quacks. So this is going to be about the new YouTube age verification update thing, and it's really irking me a bit. I just wanted to talk about it because this is getting to a point where I'm just really tired of this whole weird censorship thing that's just suddenly started to happen. Like, I know it's been like a thing going on for years now, but like everything just kind of happening all at once, all these new rules and all this stuff is just really weird and very irritating because it's just like, why, it just bothers me. And it's like they don't care about the safety of children. Like, they really don't, because if they did, they would do better to like actually protect children. And also, YouTube has YouTube Kids, so it's like, why waste time trying to make this for like regular YouTube and just fix YouTube Kids and make that better? Like, why are you bothering us? Why do you have to, do all this other stuff and all these updates when you could just make YouTube Kids better, make it better so that way it's like more, I don't know, something, whatever. I'm just so frustrated with this. Like, I just don't know what to do, and like I don't know how this is gonna affect my channel as well. Like, I'm not sure if this is gonna like screw my channel over, because I watch like a huge variety of content. So like sometimes based on like what I watch, you might assume that I'm like a teenager, but the other times it's like, oh, this person might be an adult. I don't think I've watched enough stuff that would like completely put me in the category of like a child, because I watch a pretty good variety of like content that's like aimed at adults, but also like, I do like watching stuff about nostalgic things, or like I do like watching stuff about like, video games and whatnot, and that might, get me categorized as like just teenager or childish or whatever. But like, it's so stupid, because it's like, why do this? I know there are some people who are probably like, oh, just submit your ID, it's no big deal, but like, it's the idea that like submitting your ID to YouTube of all places just to verify yourself so you can enjoy watching content normally. That's what I don't like. I don't like having to do that, I just think it's really stupid. And like, really, submitting IDs for anything like online really should be limited to like very specific things. It shouldn't be just to use the internet normally. We shouldn't have to, provide pictures of our faces or do this or that. Like, this is getting just scary now. What is going on with the world? Like, I try to just be like blissfully ignorant. I try to be like, you know what, maybe it's not that bad, maybe things will get better. But no, this is getting to a point where I can't ignore it. So I wanted to say something, because I feel like I need to just say something, anything really. I know it's stupid, but I changed my icon to Clubby because that's like the new, I guess, silent protest to this whole thing. So whatever. And I just don't know what to do anymore. So now let's just read this official blog from YouTube about this new feature that's extending our built-in protections to more teens on YouTube. Freaking bullshit. We're extending our existing built-in protections for more US teens on YouTube using machine learning and age estimation. People come to YouTube to learn and be entertained. This is true even for the youngest audiences, and it's why we remain laser focused on making sure they have a safe and age-appropriate experience. Over 10 years ago, we launched YouTube Kids, and 4 years ago, implemented supervised accounts for preteens and teens. Okay, so why don't you improve on that and not screw over everybody else? Back in February, we shared that we would soon introduce technology that would distinguish between younger viewers and adults to help provide the best age-appropriate experiences and protection. Over the next few weeks, we'll begin to roll out machine learning to a small set of users in the US to estimate their age so that teens are treated as teens and adults as adults. Okay. This obviously is going to go wrong if you're using machine learning. We already know how bad that can be. We'll closely monitor this before we roll it out more widely. This technology will allow us to infer our user's age and use that signal regardless of birthday in the account. Okay, so now I can't even just rely on my own age. Like, oh, I'm 24, so now I have to basically prove, based on the content I watch, just so I can continue watching YouTube without being bothered or being assumed I'm a child. This is absolutely fucking bullshit. Anyway, we've used this approach in other markets for some time where it is working well. We are now bringing it to the US, and as we make progress, we'll roll it out in other markets. No, just don't. We will closely monitor the user experience and partner with creators to ensure the entire ecosystem benefits from this update. Fuck you. Here's how it works. We will use AI to interpret a variety of signals that help us to determine whether a user over or under 18. These signals include the types of video a user is searching for, the categories of videos they have watched, or the longevity of the account. Well, I'm screwed because I made my account in 2016. However, in 2016, I was 15 years old, but based on the content I watch, you'd think I'm an adult, so I don't know what that's going to have with my channel. When the system identifies a teen user, will automatically apply age-appropriate experiences and protections, including disabling personalized advertising, turning on well-being tools, adding safeguards to recommendations, including limiting repetitive views of some kinds of content. Okay. If the system correctly estimates a user to be under 18, they'll have an option to verify if they're 18 over using a credit card or government ID. No. We'll only allow users who have been inferred or verified as over 18 to view age-restricted content that may be inappropriate for younger users. Okay, I'm just gonna keep reading. Our continuing work to support kids, teens, and families. YouTube is one of the first platforms to offer experiences designed specifically for young people, and we're proud again to be at the forefront of introducing technology that allows us to deliver safety protections while preserving teen privacy. Families trust that YouTube to provide a safe and enriching experience and will continue to invest to protect their ability to explore safely online. They don't care. Like, nobody online gives a shit about kid safety. Nobody does. And I'm going to go on a tangent about why. Because for years now, I keep hearing stuff about, kids getting groomed on, like, different sites. Kids, being exposed to all this terrible content. And yeah, sure, like, there's definitely a lot of like stuff that's bad online that kids can see pretty easily nowadays, but that is also because the internet is no longer doing anything to like protect kids well. There are no more like good spaces for kids to just be kids online anymore. Back when I was younger, there was plenty of websites where I could be like, a kid. I could explore like kids only spaces like, Pop Travica, Club Penguin, sites like that where it was clearly meant for kids. The chats were like built in a way where they could restrict a lot of like bad words, and kids could just kind of mess around and have fun and whatever, talk with other kids and be limited to kind of that. And nowadays kids don't have that. Kids nowadays have to deal with all this like merging with like adult spaces, and that's why so many kids end up in those places, not because they're trying to be malicious, but because like there's just nowhere for them to go. And then when there are actual places for kids to be at, then adults have to zoom in and have to be annoying about it. That's why, like with Roblox, for example, a lot of kids like Roblox, but then the adults had to be weird about it and then had to go into Roblox, and now Roblox has all these issues. I don't know what specifically because I don't play on it, but like still, it's just the fact that kids just don't have that sort of thing anymore, so now they can't be around other kids, so now they gotta deal with all this other stuff. But then also, it's like, this censorship thing makes me realize that, like, kids are gonna be more restricted in different ways. They're not gonna be able to see certain things anymore if this continues to get worse, because, well, first of all, I remember the whole thing with the MasterCard Visa thing of, like, restricting things on Steam or whatever, where it's like, no, we're not gonna let you to, like, buy certain inappropriate games and all this stuff, and it's like, this is stupid, because, if you're gonna restrict certain things like this now, what's to prevent people from restricting things that they might deem as dangerous to kids in the future? Because obviously, we already know what's else on the chopping block. LGBT stuff is probably next at some point, because people are going to be like, oh, well, this is not good for kids. And everyone thinks it's for the kids. It's not for the kids. It's annoying, stupid adults who clearly have a vendetta against a lot of these things that want to censor the internet and the world and all this other stuff. So they're trying to get rid of it, and they're using kids as their shield. Every time anybody wants to be like, oh, I don't like this thing, this is bad, they use kids because they think they care. But they don't care about the kids, because all the people that are like, we care about the children, we'll protect the kids, they don't protect the kids that actually need protecting. Where were those people when those kids were getting grouped online? They probably weren't there. They probably didn't give a shit. They probably don't even check their kids' history and all this other stuff, because if they did, they would actually do a better job. But they aren't, because they don't care. And that's the problem with this. That is what I don't like. They don't give a shit about kids. Nobody does. And it's clear that YouTube is just trying to do whatever with this whole machine learning thing. I'm tired of it, and I just needed to get it off my chest, because I'm so irritated. I'm so irritated with this, and I'm just kind of rambling at this point, but it's just so frustrating. I'm not sure what else there is to really do at this point. I guess if I have to give my idea, I will, because I don't want to lose this channel, or I don't know how this is going to work, because they didn't really specify, like, how it's going to affect creators, or I haven't found anything about how it specifically will affect creators. I don't know if I'm going to get something in, like, in an email saying, like, oh, hey, this is how your channel might be affected if you're a content creator, and, you know, if you're suspected to be under 18, because there are plenty of channels of under 18 users that make videos, so I don't know how they're going to be affected or if they're going to be restricted. So yeah, I'm not making this to like fearmonger or to be like, oh, all doom and gloom, this is the end of the world. But I will say we are definitely getting a point in, like, I guess the world history, whatever, where things are just not going well, and I don't like this direction we're going. I really hope that that a lot of people are very loud and annoying about this. Be loud and annoying about this. We need YouTube to like completely reverse this and never do anything like this again. We need to make companies like this scared, because it's clear that they're getting too comfortable doing really stupid shit. We need to make them really understand that no, this is not something we want. We don't want this. No one asked for this. And for parents, if you were a parent, do a better job at monitoring your fucking kids. Don't be super restrictive to the point where they start sneaking behind your back. You need to do a better job, because it's clear that a lot of this issue of like kids finding stuff is probably because you are not watching them well enough, and not because of the content being made. Yes, there's a lot of stuff online that's bad for them to see, but you need to do a better job at making sure you monitor that. It is not the people online's responsibility to make sure your kids don't see some bad stuff, okay? If your kid accidentally stumbles upon like the super dark, gross, gory, mega murder sex video, that is your fault for not like doing a better job at making sure that they don't stumble across that. You need to do better. You need to, I don't know, do something, parental locks, timed internet use if they're like really young. Like, it is not, you know, content creators' responsibility. Like, to an extent, yes, there are certain things we're responsible for, but like, if someone makes mature content and your kid stumbles across it, that's not the creator's fault. It's like if you were at a movie theater and like some kid left the like one movie theater after watching a kids movie, and then they wander into like an rated R movie, and then they saw like a couple of scenes and then they got traumatized. It's not the movie theater's fault for showing that movie. They shouldn't have walked in there. The parent or whoever should have made sure that kid didn't walk in there. That is your job. It is not my job to parent your kids. It is no one's job except for yours. And if you aren't doing a good job, then you fucking suck. And it's getting very annoying. But obviously, like I said before, it's not because people actually care about kids. It's because they want to be going around being like, oh, we care about the kids. This is about morality. We were trying to make things better and blah, blah, blah. No, you don't care. And I'm done. I'm done with this. Anyway, that is all I have to say about it. I'm very frustrated. I don't know what to do now. I don't know if things will improve. I'm probably gonna still create content, whatever, and post. But like, I'm not happy, and I hope that my channel isn't screwed over in some way. This is supposed to be rolling out tomorrow, and I'm gonna be getting this video out today because I think it's important to talk about. So, yeah, see you quacks later.